Hi everyone. So today I wanted to show how I painted this very simple mountain landscape, but using granulating watercolour paints by Schmincke. So I'm using Potter's Pink, some Glacier Black and also some French Ultramarine. And I wanted to show how the granulation of the paints actually create the scene for you. So they give you some really nice effects as they diffuse into each other, and the different colours within those paints separate out, giving you some really pretty effects. So I'm using just a large mop brush today, a number 6, and also my large calligraphy brush. And my paper is portrait format, and I'm using Archie's cold press 100% cotton paper, and it takes the layers really nicely. So I've started off by wetting the top part of the page so that I can put in a very rough sky. And I'm using firstly the French ultramarine for the top section. Then I've added in some of the Potter's Pink to make a more of a purple colour, because I want it to be quite a moody sky, to have quite a bit of drama and atmosphere. And as you can see on the paper, as I've added those colours together, they've also granulated and they've separated out. So just adding a little bit of water to soften some of those edges. And now I'm adding in a little bit more of the Potter's Pink. So it becomes a little bit more of a pinky colour as we come down into the sky area. So using my mop brush, I'm now mixing up a really dark mixture of our Glacier Black, adding just a touch of the Potter's Pink to it. And I'm going to start painting in a very rough mountain, which will be the main focal point for the painting. So just using the tip and then also the belly of the brush, I'm just sweeping in the rough outline of the mountain. And then I'm sweeping and dry brushing down some of that mixture down into the foreground of the painting. Now, the idea of this is I want to put sort of a base layer in there, but once I've got some paint on the paper, I'm then going to drop in some other colours. So I'll drop in some more of the Potter's Pink and the French Ultramarine, and then you'll be able to see how these sort of mix together and create different colours within those two or three colours that I'm using. So I'm putting in some of the more of the French ultramarine in now, and it is mingling with the Glacier Black that's already there. And I'll add in a little bit more water as well. This is just tinted from my water pot. And in that water, I'll start to add in some drops of the other colours, just so we can see the granulation as they separate out. So you can see the Potter's Pink going in there. I'm just cleaning off my brush and adding a little bit more water, but also with some dry brush effect down into the foreground. So I don't need to paint any detail or texture. The granulating paints are doing this for me. And all I'm doing is mixing up different mixtures of the colours and then dropping them in and sweeping them down so it gives a bit of a mountain view. And I'll be doing the whole of this painting in just one wash, so there won't be any need to dry off the layers as I go. So I'm using my large calligraphy brush now, and I'm going to start putting in some very distant mountains on the left-hand side behind that first prominent one. And I'll also speed this up again while I do this, because I don't think this bit is particularly important. I think the main focus of this tutorial will be seeing the granulation of the main sections of the painting. So I'm now going to sweep in some extra dark areas for the prominent mountain at the front. And I'm using a mixture of mainly Glacier Black for this. So I'm just using the calligraphy brush and I'm adding in some extra dark sections and then sweeping my brush down diagonally to make sure we have that viewpoint of the mountain so that it looks like it's sweeping down in front of us. Once I finish doing this, I'm going to put in a very, very dark section. So another mountain section in front at the bottom of the painting. And I'm going to put in the suggestion of some fir trees into that as well, dropping in some additional colours, making sure that I'm using a mixture of all three. So the blue, the potter's pink, and the glacier black. And these will also granulate and give us a really nice effect. So I'll speed this up again as I do this, and you'll be able to see the effect that it achieves. Now I'm just spraying with my misting spray that section of painting just at the far right hand corner, the bottom right hand corner. And as you can see, it's created a really misty effect with those colours mixing in together. And I've taken a tissue, just a dry tissue, and I'm sweeping it across just so that it blurs that paint. I don't want too much of a dry brush effect now in the bottom part of the painting. I want it to have a really sort of misty, almost sort of a blurred section. And then I'll just sweep in some extra bits of paint to see if I can get them to run down into that section of wet paper. So starting off with quite a dark mixture, adding in a little bit of the purple, and then just using little flicks of the calligraphy brush to try and encourage it down to give that impression of sweeping mountain. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say there, but you can see the effect that it's having, and then using a little bit more of the French ultramarine, a bit more of the potter's pink. So quite a dry mixture because we have got quite a lot of water on the paper. Just loosening it up slightly, adding a little bit more of the potter's pink. And then as you can see, it starts to come down into the painting. I think this gives a nice sort of finishing touch, almost like a very blurred sweeping section of the painting, which, excuse me, is in contrast to the dry brush effect that we did for the mountain behind. It gives her a smoother texture and a little bit of contrast with what's behind. And then adding in quite a dark blue mixture. I'm doing the same on the left-hand side. So making sure I've got some nice thick dark mixture of paint on the paper. And then I'm also going to spray that section in the same way I did on the right-hand side. So just covering the rest because I just want it in that bottom left-hand corner. And then you can see me using the tissue to just blur that paint. And I think it gives us another nice effect. So just a few more little finishing touches now to darken up that section where the fir trees are, so that we've got some contrast in the painting, making sure we've got some good tonal values running through it. Because the sky was quite dark and quite moody, I realised I needed to match this in the landscape as well. And I think in future, maybe a little less paint in the sky. I mean, the granulating paints give a really nice effect as they all sort of mingle and separate out. But sometimes I think it can be a bit overpowering for a sky area. And maybe next time I'll probably use normal paint for my sky and then stick to the granulating paints for the actual landscape itself. But you live and learn, so this is all an experiment. And I hope you're finding it useful to see how these colours separate out and some of the nice effects you can get from using granulating paints. So there's the finished piece. So just using 3 colours, granulating paints by Schmincke the whole way through the painting. And I think it gives quite a bold landscape with quite an unusual mix of colour with the potter's pink. So I hope you found that useful. And I'd love to hear in the comments if you've also used some granulating paints and how you found them, what kind of effects you liked or you didn't like, whether it was useful for painting landscapes. And thank you very much for watching today. It's been lovely to have you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.